The door slammed shut behind me, echoing like a gunshot in the quiet dawn of my Brooklyn apartment. Piper. Wait. Please. Hadley's voice cracked through the phone speaker. Raw and desperate. I froze. My hand trembling on the knob. The secret I'd buried for years now exposed in one careless slip. How could a simple coffee run turn into this? My heart pounded. The metallic taste of fear on my tongue. As I realized her sudden kindness these past weeks wasn't pity, it was something deeper. Something I never dared hope for. It started innocently enough. Like any New York morning hustle. I was Piper Thompson. 25. Scraping by as a freelance graphic designer in a cramped Williamsburg studio. Surrounded by sketchpads and half-empty takeout containers. The city air always carried that mix of fresh bagels and exhaust. Grounding me in the chaos. Hadley Reyes. 26. Worked the counter at Joe's Brew. The hole-in-the-wall coffee shop 2 blocks down. She was the kind of barista who remembered your order, double espresso. No sugar, and threw in a free muffin on rough days. We were just friends. Or so I told myself. Normal friends who chatted about bad dates. Netflix binges. And the endless grind of adulting in the Big Apple. But I had a secret. One that gnawed at me in the quiet hours. When the subway rumbled beneath my feet or the rain pattered against my window like unspoken regrets. I was gay. Lesbian. To be precise. In a city that prided itself on diversity. I still hid it. Buried under layers of straight pretense from my conservative Midwest upbringing. Family dinners back in Ohio were laced with subtle judgments. Mom's sighs over my lack of boyfriends. Dad's offhand comments about traditional values. I'd moved to New York to escape that. But the fear followed like a shadow. Hadley and I met 6 months ago. She was all easy smiles and quick wit. Her laugh cutting through the morning fog like sunlight. Rough night, she'd ask. Sliding my coffee across the counter. Her fingers brushing mine just a second too long. I'd blush. Mumble something about deadlines. And flee. But over time, those exchanges grew. We'd grab lunch in Prospect Park. Sprawl on the grass with sandwiches from the bodega. Talking about everything and nothing. She shared stories of her Puerto Rican roots. The warmth of Abuelita's kitchen in the Bronx. The spice of sofrito lingering in her memories. I opened up about my designs. The thrill of seeing my work on billboards. But never the deeper stuff. Then, the slip. It was a humid Tuesday. The kind where sweat beads on your forehead before 9 a.m. I was venting about another failed blind date set up by a well-meaning coworker. Guys just don't get me, I said. Too loosely. As she handed me my cup. Her eyes narrowed playfully. Maybe it's not guys you need. The words hung there. Electric. I panicked. Laughed it off. But that night, scrolling through my phone, I accidentally liked an old post on her feed, a Pride Parade photo from last year. Heart emoji. Shit. I unliked it immediately. But the damage was done. The next day, her kindness shifted. Subtle at first. Extra foam on my latte. A handwritten note, you got this. Then invitations, hey, wanna catch a movie after my shift? We ended up at a rooftop bar in Bushwick. Fairy lights twinkling against the skyline. The distant hum of traffic below. She leaned in. Her breath warm with hints of vanilla from the shop. Piper. About that like. It's okay. More than okay. My stomach twisted. Was this pity? The air thickened with unspoken tension. The clink of glasses around us fading into a buzz. Weeks blurred into a whirlwind of confusion. She'd text late at night, thinking of you. We'd walk arm in arm through Central Park. Leaves crunching underfoot. Her hand lingering on my back. The scent of her shampoo, coconut and freedom, clung to me long after. But doubt crept in like the autumn chill. Why the change? Was she experimenting? Using me to feel progressive? My inner voice screamed warnings. Flashbacks to high school crushes that ended in heartbreak. Whispers of freak in locker rooms. The confrontation came on a crisp Saturday morning. Sunlight streamed through the coffee shop windows, casting golden pools on the worn wooden floors. Hadley pulled me aside during her break. Into the alley behind the shop, where dumpsters hummed softly and pigeons cooed overhead. Piper. I know your secret. And it's mine too. Her voice trembled. Eyes glistening. I've been falling for you since day one. But I was scared. That like? It gave me hope. She stepped closer. Her hand cupping my cheek. Thumb brushing away a tear I didn't know had fallen. The world narrowed to her, the freckles on her nose. The way her lips parted in vulnerability. I pulled away. breath hitching. Is this real? Or just kindness because you feel sorry for me? The words stung, sharp as the cool breeze whipping through the alley. She sighed. A deep, shaky exhale that carried the weight of her own hidden truths. No, Piper. It's real. I've dated guys. Sure. But nothing felt right. Until you. Your laugh. Your passion, it's you. She reached into her pocket, pulling out a crumpled napkin with a doodle we'd made together weeks ago. Two stick figures holding hands under a heart. This? It's us. My defenses crumbled. We kissed there. Tentative at first. Then fervent. The taste of coffee and salt from tears mingling. The city noise faded, the honks. The chatter, replaced by the thump of my heart. The soft gasp of her breath against mine. It was messy. Real. Like a scene from those indie films where love sneaks up and shatters everything. But reality hit hard. Back in my apartment that night, doubts resurfaced. What if she changed her mind? What about family? Hers was accepting. Mine. Not so much. I paced the floor. The creak of old wood echoing my turmoil. When she called, begging me to talk, I slammed the door on our budding whatever it was. Or tried to. She showed up at my doorstep the next dawn. Hair tousled from the subway ride. Eyes red-rimmed. Don't shut me out. Piper. We're in this together. We talked for hours. Sprawled on my couch. The morning light warming the room. She shared her fears, coming out to friends. The judgment in her community. I confessed mine, the isolation. The pretending. Tears flowed. Laughter too. As we peeled back layers. The aroma of fresh brewed coffee from my cheap machine filled the air. Grounding us. In the end, it wasn't dramatic fireworks. It was quiet acceptance. We walked hand in hand to the park. The sun climbing higher, casting long shadows behind us. This is our secret now, she whispered, squeezing my fingers. But not a burden, one we share. I nodded, feeling lighter, the weight lifting like mist burning off the Hudson. Months later, we're still navigating it. Dates in cozy diners. Stolen kisses in rain-soaked streets. Her kindness wasn't a change, it was always there. Waiting for truth to unlock it. And in that, I found not just love, but myself. No more hiding. Just us. Two women building something real in the heart of America.